Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. We're going to do Germain Consultant, and this is the backstory. This is exactly from your book. This is your ebook, Project 11.1. So everybody is responsible for this Project 11.1. It's a new company, sample company, service company, consulting tells me it's a service company, and you're doing sole proprietorship. We're practicing it many times, but today, for the first time, I'm doing it on QuickBooks Online. So students who didn't do it before that have Mac have to go to course documents on Blackboard. And then there is files for QuickBooks Online to practice. And then the bottom one says, setting up test driving company and also QuickBooks Online student instruction. That PDF gives you the exact link to what I have right now. It's QuickBooks Accountant for free, QuickBooks Online for free. Okay, let me see if I can open it again. Okay, I'm sharing this. You see instruction number 2. This is how you get the license, the product. If you didn't do it until now, get through this link, copy the link, go to that. Students will be verified and you'll get it for free. Okay, so it's completely web-based. This is how it works when you already worked on it. Okay, so this is your QuickBooks Online, and I just created the company. This is QuickBooks Accountant. I'm showing you the main screen. All I did, I just wrote my name, and I wrote Germain Consultant is my company, and he's the client. Okay, that's my client, the first client. So it means every time I'll have a company. So let's read what they expect from us in the smart book. So the ebook says the backstory. Mason Germain funded a new Germain Consultant, and the firm provides consulting and design services to companies using social media for marketing purposes. The firm advises the companies regarding how to use the internet, marketing, and social media tools, such as Facebook, Instagram, and to market and promise and promote their companies, products, and brands. Social media tools are revolutionizing marketing to promote dating service, spas, grocery stores, and so on. So Germain Consultant is basically going to bill for his time. You will see 2 things that are related to items. Social media, and he would say consulting on social media is maybe $50 or $60. This is just to get an understanding of the 2 items that he's going to bill. So if you want to open the template, everybody can open the template. The template is Project 11.1. That's from my QuickBook. I think it's from here, myquickbooks.com. Okay, so 2018, 2019, doesn't matter. You're going to choose Project 11. So when you go to the Excel files, right here, all the Excel files, you're going to have Chapter 11 reports. You have starter files that you don't need. Obviously, this is the new company, so nobody needs a starter file. I think it's under there. Let me find 11. Okay, I just downloaded Excel. I want to see if it says it. Okay, so yes, the files that we don't need and the files that we need. Okay, I don't know if you can see it right now. This is my Excel. My Excel shows that there's so many files in Chapter 11. I only need those we say 11.1 in the beginning. So 11.1 is right here. I'm pointing them out. Okay, until cash flow. Now, what's the most important things? Okay, so whenever you're sending me a project, if you want to get a grade, I must have a profit and loss, a balance sheet, statement of cash flow. Those are a must. And I prefer a journal. So I'm highlighting now to understand what I expect from them. If you're sending me a midterm without these 4, you're basically getting 0. If I don't see your work, I cannot grade you. You could be typing from, your friend's numbers for sure. So I must see everybody's work. So again, I'm pointing it out. I must have a profit and loss, balance sheet, and statement of cash flow. That's when I say financial statements. Financial statement means balance sheet, profit and loss, and statement of cash flow. And of course, journal, I can really see your journalizing and the mistakes, if there are mistakes. So I must have these 4. All the rest are optionals, not important. I really don't care if you typed customers or vendors, I don't care. I don't need the details anyway. Okay, so that's about everything. So look at what I highlighted. I only need these 4. So it's very easy to create your own Excel. You don't need to open this file at all. You just create a sheet and you name it on the bottom, profit and loss. Name the next one balance sheet, name the next one like that. So you don't need so many sheets. If it's easier for you, create your own Excel. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to QuickBooks. Let me close this one. Okay, so this is project 11.1. And it talks about setting up a new company. It gives you information about the company and the long way interview. Now, I'm not doing it on QuickBooks, the regular desktop. I'm doing it on QuickBooks Online, so I need a little bit less information. All I need to know about the company is how is it set up. And here's the example, general service-based and sole proprietorship. Another thing I would like to know is how they are set up. Is it fiscal or calendar? Okay, fiscal or calendar. So that's what I see here. And that's the information I know. Okay, so I'm doing it on QuickBooks Online. Let's close it and go to QuickBooks Online. This is QuickBooks Online. You have the gear over here, up here, setting. It's a good idea to start with that. Getting started, to know something about the company. So let's check. Company setting. Company name is Germain Consultant. If you want to put more information, you could. Accounting method is accrual. Tax ID, tax form. Okay, tax form will be sole proprietorship because we just saw that. And we press save. So that's the first part. Now, if you want customization, like we want account numbers and things like that, it's also under here. Okay, so that's my company. You can put company logo and a notification. Let's go to advanced. So I go for the side for company and I go to advanced. Now in advanced, the chart is usually off, no account numbers. So we're going to press that edit key right here on the right. And I'll say, yes, I want to put it on. Enable account numbers and I press save. It means show account numbers. Remember that we do it in edit preferences. So we do it here too. Okay, so now it's on. Other things we need, basically now we are fine. Sales, expenses, notification. We don't have to do anything really. Okay, so that's basically enough. Company, that's the company information. Again, if you want to edit and type much more, you could. Germain Consultant is where you type the company name. Okay, we'll go to, I didn't realize I put my own information up here. Okay, so it's accrual for sure. Let's go to close it. So we finished with setting. And the next part is always to start with accounts. So let's go to the book. Okay, so we finished with general service and sole proprietorship. Not really, because we didn't have a choice of general service. But to get to know something about the company, they do service only. What does it mean? You're a consultant, so you're not selling inventory. You're not doing any actual goods. So service only, and sales tax as the service is usually no. Like a doctor or lawyer doesn't say my fee's $100 plus tax. So by doing services for sure, sales tax is no. You're not charging sales tax. Then we have estimates, also yes. So some companies in the consultant world would like to, people like it in writing. Please give me an estimate in writing. So you have that ability and you can do an estimate. Billing statement, no. Progress invoicing, no. Track billing, no, but track time, yes. So this is about billing and how long people are working on a project. Okay, but the most important thing on this screen is to open a new account called checking. And the account anyway here is 0. So I really would like to see if they did any transactions later on, just to save myself time. So the checking account right now, they say 0. So let's look later. Then we have customers. Petite Mimi, that's the customer name. I really care about names only. I don't care about the rest, but I just get to know the customer. The customer pays by a check. Net 15 is their, net 15 is your terms. And here's the next customer, Luminis Link. Okay, also net 15, fine. So you basically have how many? 2 or 3 customers. Okay, so we're going to start with customers. That's the names of the customers. Okay, so I'm on page 538, by the way, Petite Mimi. So we're starting like this. We'll go to QuickBooks. And we're going to go to plus. Okay, so here you have plus customers and invoices. If you want to take customers as a list, you go over here with the list, all list. Okay, so all lists will be chart of accounts. And really that's your starting points, the chart of accounts. You can also do it from down here, all the way down. Under accounting, I prefer accounting and the word new. So I really prefer to start with chart of accounts like the way you start a new company. After that, you can add the customers. So this is what came with the software. I didn't do any of the typing yet. You see, none of the numbers are here. So it's up to me. If I need it, I'll put a number, but the column exists. Okay, so what I need is a new account. So I click on new. Bank is the type, exactly like QuickBooks Desktop. Cash on hand is detail type. Okay, the name is not cash on hand. We're going to write checking. And account number is, you can follow the book. Well, what page was it? 538. Okay, so the account is checking. My pages are a little bit different. I have 596, but it's the same idea. Okay. So checking account, and we don't have account numbers. Okay, so it's even easier for you. There's no account numbers. Yeah, so you could do the whole exercise without account numbers. It's up to you. I don't see it. So if you do want account numbers, put. If not, let's work without it. So we save and close. This is just creating the checking account. As you can see right here, that's the checking account, and now I have bank account. Okay, next part. So products and services, current, any other information over here that you need would be here. Sales overview. Okay, we have everything empty, as you can see, completely empty. You go to customers on the side, you have overview, all invoices, customer, and we adding manually. Okay, so I went to sales, I went to customer and add customer manually. Again, I don't really need all this information. Her name is Petite Mimi, so if you want to skip, you'll just say Mimi, and I don't know the middle name, so it's Petite. And we're going to put over here, we don't need company. The display as Mimi Petite or Petite Mimi, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's your billing information. If you feel like typing it, you do it from the book, 220, whatever Avenue. Doesn't matter. This is from the book. Okay, so email and things like that you don't have to put. Really, just the name is enough for me. And then if you want terms, it's going to be in here. Tax info, payment info, payment and billing. So you see that you have more questions right here in the middle. After address, you have notes, tax info, anyway, we're not taxing her. Payment and billing, preferred method of payment, it's by check. And net 15 we know. Okay. Okay, so we chose check. Terms is net 15, so we click here and choose net 15. But it's not mandatory, it's not a must to do any of these details. Okay, just save and go on to the next customer. Okay, so I'm saying it again. This is a customer. You go to customer, and up here we did customer, and we added customer manually. Okay, so right now we have customer. New customer in another screen. Second customer is Luminis Link. That's the name of the company. So I'm skipping completely the top. I'm going straight to the company name, Luminis. Display as Luminis Link. And if you want to review the same steps, you go to payment and billing, say check, and it's check, and that's 15 as well. And we save. That's basically enough. The same way you should be doing it on QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop. So QuickBooks Desktop is also very simple. Okay, I can't do it right now because I didn't really prepare it. But I'll show you just the differences. This is how I would do it in QuickBooks on the regular QuickBooks Desktop. Germain, consulting, industry, general service. Always select from the group and sole proprietorship. That's how simple it is. Express start is fine. Okay, so we're going straight to customers and you're adding a customer. It is a little bit easier here because you just have a screen that says what's the name of the customer and their name. Okay, so we have two customers and now we have two vendors. So I go over here. We also do it manually, so I'm ignoring this and I just press continue and you're typing over here. Two customers and two vendors. So radio buttons, 2 and 2. First one, we just said Luminis Link. It's usually the same, so I'm just copying it. This one is Petite Mim. Okay, so first name is Mimi and last name Petite. Okay, so I'm done with one. Now we're going to vendor. The name of the vendor is Sophia Raphael Associates. I don't know if I have the same name even. No, Joseph Leasing. Okay, so new vendor, Joseph Leasing. Joseph Leasing. Okay, let me double check. I'm going to double check with this if I skipped anything. Okay, so I entered Mimi Petite and I entered Luminis. I don't know why it's not showing me. Okay, now it's showing. Fine. Okay, so we finished with the customers. Customer type, another customer. It looks like I missed one. Customer is Bishot Supplies. Okay, let me copy it. Okay, it looks like if you have 2019 book, you have a different numbers of customers. So I worked from a new 2019 book and I see that they have only 2 customers, not 3. So it will be very advisable to please send me an email if you're using a new version of the book. Only 2019 has a different project, I just realized. So make sure you're using 2018 information. If not, send me an email so I'll know that you're using a new book. Okay, so Luminous link, I need to go back for a second. New customer, and the last one, Bishot supplies, and it's also, I think that's 15. So that's basically the information, and I have, that's 15, and a check. Okay, so all these customers are in. I can always go back to this and fix it. Even QuickBooks here, it's very simple to switch. I just forgot one customer, no problem. I'll put it in. Bishot supplies. I'm still on the same screen. So now I have 3 customers and 1 vendor. Let's continue. Okay, so I have 3 customers in the computer. Now we're going to go to vendors. Let's continue reading. So we finished with Bishot supplies. I'm on page 540. It says if you export to Excel, that's not important for me, but if you do, leave a space between columns and send it to Excel. Again, I don't care if you did it or not. Okay, the first vendor I already typed was Joseph Leasing. Okay, so Joseph Leasing is 1 vendor. Second vendor is going to be Maria Cecilia Associates. Okay, so we're going to go into QuickBooks and start new. And this time it's under expenses. You will be finding vendors. So in here, the second one is vendors. Keep track of who you pay. Definitely we want to keep track of who you pay. So add vendor manually. And the company name is Joseph Leasing. Joseph Leasing. I don't know why I have so much space. Fine. Joseph Leasing. The rest is not important at all. Just press save. And add another vendor. Maria Cecilia Associates. What I pressed, 1 second. Maria Cecilia Associates. Okay, so we're saving. We have 2 vendors and 3 customers. Okay, I'm switching back. So this is your QuickBooks desktop. You see how we set it up. Luminous link, me Petit, Joseph Leasing, Bishot, doesn't matter. Even if I'm not organized, it will be organized later on. I think that's it. So we have all the customers and we don't care about employees at all. We're done with that. So we're ready to just start. And they all have 0 balance anyway. Okay, so we go over here, continue. So you finish with a 5 and continue again. Okay, add product or services you sell. So we go in the middle. I'm showing it in 2 ways so everybody will be able to do it. Definitely service. The name of the service is internet marketing. Okay, so here's the difference in the book. Internet marketing. Okay, my problem with the book is The new 2019 has a different pricing. Internet marketing in the new book is $72. Let me go back and check what the old book says. We finished with Maria Cecilia. Internet marketing is $60. Okay, so we're gonna do this, $60, and the other one is 70. Okay, so we have two items that we're going to create to make our life simpler. When we're making an invoice, we just need to bill for internet marketing or for social media. What's important on each one of them is, of course, the account. The account that they chose is sales. Notice that they do not put account numbers, so they made your life simple. No account numbers at all, but you have to make sure that it's an income account called sales. Okay, so internet marketing is the correct account. That's the name of the account, the item. Okay, so I go over here, new, and it's a new list. Well, from lists. Where's items? 1 second. Expenses, vendors, sales, invoices, payroll, time. I don't think I know where item is. It should be under products and services. Okay, here's the items. Okay, product services. So I went from here. Second, under items, it says product and services, and you have to click on new. So it's non-inventory, service, bundle, or inventory. Of course, we're working with service. So I'll show it again. You choose new. You need to understand you're doing service. So you click on service, and the name of the service is like given, internet marketing, and description is not so important, but the account is important. Income account, make sure it's sales. Now category and SKU and things like that, it's better if you put internet marketing as a category. Price, $60. Description on the sales form, also very useful. So internet marketing, you're adding the word consulting. Okay, so I'm following this. I want to point out what exactly I'm doing. Internet marketing consulting, the $60 and the sales. That's exactly what's important on each item. Okay, so it's items, and that's what you're typing. Save and close. Then you got it in here, internet marketing. New again, service again, and the name this time is social. Social media marketing. Social media marketing. In the wrong place, 1 second. Social media marketing. Okay, I'm putting it again. You don't have to use category, but at least description. And make sure it goes to sales. Price is $70. Okay, so what's important is really the name that is going to be on your sales invoices, $70 and sales. Save and close. Okay, so now we got both internet marketing and social media marketing, these two. One is $60, one is $70. Okay, and I'm going to show how I do it in the other one. Okay, internet marketing description. Oh, what happened? Internet marketing consulting. This is even easier because sales is for sure happening. You don't even see it on the screen. But that's behind the scenes, creating an account called sales. I don't know why it's down here instead of up, but it doesn't matter. Price is important. The price is 70, not 80. Okay, so we finished with 60 and 70. Again, it doesn't matter where I placed them. I don't know why I jumped down because I was waiting. Anyway, continue, and you finish with 2 items. So 2 items are in. So I did the first part, second part. Add the bank account, and you can start. So checking, doesn't matter, account number, whatever you want to put. Of course, it's a number. I'm trying to put numbers. Okay, opening balance 0, and doesn't matter the date. Continue. So no thanks, and you just finished setting up with desktop. Okay, so that's desktop. Switching back to our paperwork. So we finished also creating the accounts, and I need to go back to chart of accounts and continue. So right now you created this 2 internet marketing and the $60 and the 70, you have both items, and you finish setting it up. Again, they ask you to export to Excel. I totally don't care about it. Chart of accounts, you don't really need, you didn't set up anything yet, but now they're saying set up accounting preference and display account numbers on the chart of accounts. So they do want account numbers from now on. Okay, so they do want account numbers. It will make our life easier. Okay, so we don't need to work on chart of accounts special, really by itself, but we want to make sure that we're working with the correct year because it eventually would match your Connect. Remember, you have questions on Connect. So January 2023 is your answer. That's your year. And you're going to start with 1/1/2023, which is 13,000. So Mason Germain invested 13,000 in the business. I'm analyzing, and I know I need a checking. I'm putting the money in the check in the bank, I'm sorry. The money is into checking account, so debit to checking account. Credit will be to Mason Germain as the owner. So opening balance equity would be fine for this. So 13,000 and it's 432. That's going to be your first transaction. So you could do it as a deposit. You can make it as a deposit to 13,000. And then the next one could be as a check or 2 steps, like they say here. Record entering bills and pay bills, 2 steps. Okay, so it's more important for me that you know how to do transactions. Okay, so we're going to go over here in a regular company, starting a company. Again, you don't really need to work much. Let's look at the chart of accounts for a second. Okay, so chart of accounts, this is what we have right now. See no account numbers, and they said to do account numbers, so it's edit, preferences, and you say accounting. What I did in one program, I'm doing on the other. Use account numbers. And also take off the warnings just because it's annoying. We're going to work in the future. So definitely in the future. Okay, so that's my basic information. Not everything got account numbers. Some did, some didn't. If you want to do account numbers, it's not a problem. You do Control letter E, and you can add account numbers easily on the screen. Like this. And if you don't need an account, I would suggest to delete it. Like inventory asset, we don't need. So Control D, make it disappear. Why do I need extra accounts? Sales income, we might need. So I don't know. Cost of goods sold, we don't need. Delete it. Okay, so that's basically my accounts. What I wanted to point out is that the name of the account is Owner's Equity, 32,000, or 30,000 is opening balance equity, and 30,800 is owner's draw. What does it mean? Owner's drawing is a contra equity. You're not choosing that to invest 13,000. Your choice could be opening balance equity or owner's equity, but for sure nothing else. Okay, so let's continue. First transaction. If I want to do the first transaction, I could do it several ways, but it's up to you. If you want to do it as a deposit, you just click on record deposit. Make sure checking is over here and be careful with your date. 01/01/2023. Okay, opening balance equity. Again, I said to be careful with the dates. And I missed the 0. 2023. Now, opening balance equity is okay, or the 32,000, which is owner's equity. Both of them will be okay to the investment by owner. So Germain gave 13,000. Okay, we have a debit or the credit. The debit is your checking, and the credit is your owner's equity, and you can write the word investment by owner. By owner. Okay, that's the way to do it here. You will get a warning that owner's equity is also retained earning for a sole proprietorship. That's fine, it's correct, you say okay. Yes, I'll show it again. 13,000, owner's equity, investment by owner. If you want to type the word Germain, whatever, you could type here, but it's not necessary. You can also put extra information like given, check and check number. So whatever the check number was. Okay, that's how you do it. So now we'll continue with that, check number 432. So we're going to go into the second way to do it. Okay, I can't see it, just a minute. Okay, so it's 13,000. I'm switching to QuickBooks Online, starting with new plus. Now I have a lot of options of how to do it really. I could do it in a general journal entry, like right here, journal entry. But since he went to the bank with a check, I can also do it as a bank deposit. So I'm teaching you either way. If it's easier for you, the whole thing to do as a journal entry, your answers will be correct. So it's fine with me, instead of going to deposit checks and whatever, do everything as a journal entry. I care about the accounting to be right at the end. So it really doesn't matter to me. If you're doing it as a bank deposit, it might be a little bit more confusing to you, but it's debit checking, received from is the name of the owner. See, you have customers and whatever. So if you add over here, Germain, what's the name, Germain? Mason Germain, you could type that, but make sure to add it not as a customer or vendor. So it's other, and I don't know if there is a choice like that. I would prefer not to type it at all. Just go straight to the account and see what they have as owner's equity. Owner's investment, that's fine. Okay, if you want to type a new account, anytime you need a new account, you can go all the way to the top and click on add new. Okay, the equity account. Owner's equity. And then you could put the account number. I think the account number is 32,000. Description, owner's investment, you could say. This is not a sub account. Okay, so whenever you type a new account, you have to save it, save and close, and that's in here, owner's equity. It is easier if you have the same account numbers. Description is not so important. Payment method is a check, and they gave us a check number, 432. Can you come quickly here? Okay, 1 second, everybody. Okay, so 432, and amount is important, of course, 13,000. Okay, so now that I see that it's 13,000, I'm checking again that you have a 10,000 deposit going into checking, and this account increases, and now I can do save and close or save and new. You have a choice. Save and close is there, but we didn't do anything. Okay, so that's our first information that we have 13,000. if you want to check your chart of accounts, you can always check your chart of accounts. You'll see that it's like QuickBooks Desktop. You have checking 13,000 and owner's equity increased by 13,000. It's not wrong. You could have had it also over here, opening balance equity, if you didn't feel like typing a new account. So opening balance equity is also fine. So that's the two correct choices. I mean, even owner's investment, they're fine. But I really want to try to match it for later on to the answers that you will have on Connect. So try to keep up with the same account numbers. Okay, so that's 13,000, 13,000. I finished with the first entry. Next one is January 1st, paid rent. Record it with 2 steps, enter bills and pay bills. What do they mean? Okay, so we go to QuickBooks for a second. I want you to understand what they want. Okay, 2 steps means enter bills and then pay the bill. It's much longer than just writing a check. So you need to create this enter bills and pay bills, because if you're not following the instructions, your journal will be short an entry. So you need to create the 2 steps. First, enter a bill. When we enter a bill, it means we're creating a debit to the expense and credit to accounts payable. So enter a bill to say that we're paying, I think it was Joseph Leasing, rent. Yeah, okay, so Joseph Leasing, you're choosing here, Joseph Leasing. And you don't see the accounts payable, but the word bill means accounts payable going up. So the date is right, and it's $700. And we're gonna write down rent expense. Okay, so I want everybody to understand this first before I do it on QuickBooks Online. So debit is rent expense, 700, and I'm done. 700, January 1st, it's your bill. I want you to understand what happened. The minute I create enter bills, look what happened on my chart of accounts. I have a new account that I didn't have before called accounts payable, 700. So you might say, where's the rest? Okay, so you see I have 13,000 over here. We just don't see it, but it's an expense. Because it's an expense, we have the 700 somewhere, but it's a temporary account. So it's down here, rent expense. If you double click and you look at the dates, right? Okay, don't forget that we on the wrong year. So it's 700. We did not lose it. It's there. It's 2023. Okay, so that's the information here. So if you just did that part, you're in trouble because you did not pay it. You have to remember, if you entered bills, you cannot go here and write checks. That's what you learned in chapter 2. That if you entered a bill, you cannot go to pay it. Because if I right now go to Joseph Leasing, it will say, you have this open, and if you're ignoring me, he's telling you in bold, accounts payable balance will be incorrect. So you cannot continue to write a check. You have to go to pay bills. So pay bills is very different window. Okay, I'll show it again. I'm not going to write checks. I'm going here to pay bills. I'm selecting Joseph Leasing. And down here, it tells me my check and the date of the check. And instead of to be printed, I choose assign check number so I can write down the check number that I'm giving. Okay, it doesn't matter even. To be printed doesn't matter. But you see the amount of money. 12,300 is right away after the 700 went out. So we pay it. And you can write any check number that you want, 101, 102, things like that. I prefer to assign a check number. Okay, so we're done with the payment. And now my accounts payable is back to 0. Okay, see accounts payable, this account is 0. If I double click on it, there will be 700 bill and payment. Fine. Okay, so we're done with 2 steps. I'm going to continue with it. Let's go back. Okay, purchase, so we didn't go to purchase, I didn't do it yet. Rent expense for Joseph Leasing, recorded with 2 steps. Fine, let's go over here. Plus, okay. You go to bill. Because they said it, I'm gonna do exactly the same steps. Enter bill and I say new. Okay, no, I'm in the wrong place. I don't know how I got to this. I'm adding a plus. I'm choosing bill. I'm waiting for the computer to open a bill. Yeah, here's your bill, Joseph Leasing, and it's for rent. Rent and lease. And the amount is 700. Okay, description is rent. So Joseph Leasing, rent and lease, and you find, and that's an expense. You want to make sure you can always click here and read that it's an expense. So that's your first part. Save. You can do save and schedule payment and right away make a check. And now you see that bill pay is loading. Continue. This is QuickBooks Online, so it just takes a little bit. Remember, I'm not really doing QuickBooks setup to connection to a bank, really. I'm just making the accounting. I don't really care if it's connected to a bank or not. So I didn't really do the connection. Okay, it's taking too long, so let me go back. Okay, so what I wanted to show is the next couple of them. Purchased computer for $2,400 on account from Maria Cecilia. Again, it's only a bill. You're entering a bill. That's what it means to purchase. You're purchasing on credit. So debit is going to be to the account called furniture and equipment, and credit will be to accounts payable. They didn't tell you to pay. Same thing with the next one. Purchase copier for $900 on accounts Maria Cecilia. Again, debits to accounts called furniture and equipment. Credit will be accounts payable. They did not tell us to pay, just to buy. So it's two bills. Email invoices. We started with invoices. Email an invoice. Again, an invoice. Email invoice. All this will create account receivable by itself. I don't even need to create that account. The computer will be creating for me account receivable the minute you click on the word invoice. Okay, so it has to be invoice. Let's see if it did it. No, I don't want to really this one. Because I didn't have the business address. If I want to put it in, if they want to, fine, I'll put it in. This is from the book. California. Okay. Just want to save it already. Okay, I'm sorry that it takes a little bit longer because I didn't pay it right, didn't set it up. Okay, let's continue without it. I don't know why it doesn't remember it. Okay, so I'm gonna be manually paying. Vendor is Joseph Leasing. Bill amount was 700. No, something is wrong over here. Okay, I don't want to do a new bill. Okay, this is what I want you to see. Okay, I wanted you to see that I have already a $700 bill and I need to pay it. You see paid and unpaid. So this is the way to look at it. Okay, I went back and back. I don't want to do a new bill. Okay, so here you have the pay, unpaid, and so on. So you have the 700, bill detail, you have Joseph leasing, rent and lease, 700, this information, schedule payment from connect to bank account. You see, this is what the problem with QuickBooks Online, it takes a little bit too long. Verify deposit, whatever, all these, we're not really doing it this way. Because I can't really set it up over here, I'm gonna do it as a journal entry. It's constantly stuck on this. I don't want to add the bank account right now. Okay, so I can't really stay in this. It is this method that's to pay from the bank account, but we're gonna do it differently. I'm gonna do it directly from a journal entry, not from here. It is a problem because I don't have a setup. Okay. I think everybody that's doing QuickBooks Online will have to do more journal entries. Instead of entering bills and paying bills, you will do it as journal entries. Joseph leasing is fine, and I don't want to end this method. Okay, so I'll have to close this. I'm still stuck. I shouldn't have said yes. The vendors from QuickBooks Online sees a payment. I shouldn't have started with payments. Okay, here's my bill. I prefer to delete it. Okay, I'm gonna delete the bill and I'm doing it as journal entry. Yeah, that will make your life easier. Okay, so let's do it as a journal entry. You're gonna do, instead of bills, journal entry. I don't think I can pay bills. I'll try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Joseph leasing, category rent, 700. I'll try to pay the bill again. Because I didn't set up the, I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm paying bills. Yeah, it looks like now it let me do it without setting it up. Okay, so here's your date. What's important is to be careful with the dates. 010, I think it was 2/2023. You have to make sure that you're doing the same year the whole time. You're choosing Joseph Leasing and the payment is from checking. So 700, yes, it's working well. And schedule the payment online or just save. See, I'm trying to be careful with, I don't want to schedule anything online. Now this bill is paid. Okay, let's verify. 13,000 and we have 12,300, correct? Okay, inventory asset is fine. I wanted to look at the accounts payable. Yes, for view register. Okay, so view register shows me that I wasn't careful with the date of the bill. Let me change the date. 01/01/2023. Okay, I want to make sure that your dates are right. You have a bill and you pay the bill. Fine, that looks good. And we're gonna say new again and start bill again. Okay. So it's not, I'm not gonna get stuck. It's gonna be on enter bills and pay bills. Okay, we're doing this account. 2,400 accounts for Maria Cecilia Associates, Furniture and Equipment. So we go over here, Maria Cecilia, over your category, Furniture and Equipment. It's a fixed asset, so you have to find a fixed asset called, doesn't look like we have Furniture and Equipment. I'm looking for an asset. Okay, we don't have it, so we have to create a new account. Furniture and Equipment. Set it up as fixed asset. I don't know if you could see, it's the first in the group is on top, fixed asset. Okay, accumulative depreciation amortization, it's not it. This is equipment, fixed asset. What's the one we want to buy? I think we're buying a computer. Yeah, we're buying computer. Okay, so that's computer equipment, fixed asset computers. And furniture and equipment is the name, and the number is usually 15,000. And this is a sub account. The answer is no. And just save. Okay, like this, you're gonna do the next one as well, but now you're gonna have it in the memory. Amount is very important, 2,400, and the bill is in. Save and new. Save and new, stay with the same one. Maria Cecilia. Again, furniture and equipment, but this time, second entry, Maria Cecilia, to be $900 copier. Okay, so we're choosing here, copier. Description, it's a copier, and it's 900. Okay, and you're noticing that I overwrite it. Again, you have to be careful with your dates. Date is January 3rd, 2023. Okay, so only to enter, do not pay yet. Okay, so what you want to see happening is that it's increasing by 2,400 plus 700, and my accounts payable is 3,300. Again, my problem was dates, so I can overwrite it. Just click on it, very easy to correct. I just have too many things open. Okay, waiting for QuickBooks to open it up again. Okay, right here. So my problem is the date. Okay, you see the date is 9/30, due 9/30, 2020, instead of, it's obviously today's date instead of this date. So I'm showing how to fix it. You click here and you got into it, change the date. I think it's the 2nd, 2023. Okay, that's it. I don't know what's the problem with this. 0102 2023. Okay, save and close. Okay, so that's my 3,300 is accounts payable. Okay, so we did the first, second, third, fourth. Now we're starting with invoices. I'm going to show only one. It's going to be the same for all of them. So please be careful making the invoices. So invoices is based on the hours and 12 hours of internet marketing. I'm pointing out that not to miss, you have to read the whole line. It's second part is 8 hours of social media. So 12 hours of internet marketing and 8 hours of social media. So I'm going to an invoice, we say plus. Okay, and here the first one under customers is invoice. Of course, we read that the name of the customer is Luminis, so we're choosing Luminis. What's happening right now from this screen is the computer creating account receivable for you. It works in both ways. If I do QuickBooks regular, I go over here, invoice, right here is create an invoice, not a sales receipt, not a sales order, not an estimate. An invoice is the account receivable. So it's creating here. Create an invoice and you're starting with Luminis. Same exact way. Luminis link, quantity, 12 hours of internet marketing, and so on. Okay, so when you're using the book, when you're using this one, it specifically tells you to choose Intuit Service Invoice Template. So QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktop are a little bit different in this sense. What you will not get this instructions. You see over here in the middle, it says template. Okay, so in the template you have over here, you're choosing Intuit Service Invoice. They don't want product, they want service. So it's going to change the layout. You're choosing Intuit Service Invoice and it changes the layout a little bit. So we have 12 hours of internet marketing, and the second one is social media, 8 hours. The total should be 1280. Okay, let's see if it's right. If it's right or not, I read ahead of the problem. If the problem said internet marketing and 8 hours, I don't see the amount of money. So I'll go back and I'll go ahead. Later, I'm going to look for a customer who paid. Okay, received the payment. They didn't tell us amount. Okay, so it says Luminis link that he paid and record deposits. So whatever it is, Luminis link is paying. Okay, so we don't know the amount. So in this case, I can't help you with the amount, but I think it's right. We're just double checking the quantity. 12 hours of internet and 8 hours of social. Okay, that's what you have to do. So Luminis, we make sure that we're careful. Again, it's a little bit different. You don't have the choice of the word template of this or that. So you're just choosing to type it in here, product and things like that. So the invoice is right. Product is internet marketing, quantity 12. 12 times 60, 720. Next line is social media marketing. The one changes to an 8. And it's 560 plus 720. The answer is 1280. And we save. Save, and you need to save a new really because you have several invoices to do the same way. So you see it's invoice number 1001 jumps to 1002. I'll do one more just to review. One more is invoice for Bishot. Bishot is 13 hours and 9 hours of social. So it's Bishot Supplies. Again, Bishot Supplies. Select it. So you will not have two customers. Don't make new ones because we did it before. Internet marketing. Quantity. I think 13. And social media marketing. I'm double checking. It's 9. And it's January 8th. Okay, so we're careful with the date. Date is January 8th, 2023. And this one should be changed to a 9. Okay, so 1410 is right. Again, how do I know 1410 is right? Because I looked later on and I saw 1410, they pay. Right here. They pay for 1410. They send a check for 1410. So obviously my amount is right. Okay. I hope you got the idea of an invoice. I did it right now too, so I want to show you what happened. The minute they did 2 of them, if you go to your chart of accounts, all the way down, accounting, you will see that you have a new account called account receivable, and the amount is 2690 right here. Account receivable, 2690. Again, I'll show it in QuickBooks as well, a regular desktop. My invoice is 1280. Date was January, I think 4 or 5. Okay, so here's my first invoice. If it doesn't like the word internet, it's fine. Okay, so we're gonna go to Bishot, supplies, item, internet marketing, 13 hours, social media, 9 hours, and we know the total was 1410. Okay, so the point of all this, that you have 2 invoices and it works the same exact way. You see account receivable is 2690. So this is your checking and that's your account receivable. As you're typing the invoices, the amount goes up. So this is step 1, this is step 2, and this is step 3. What do I mean? When the customer pays, you're going to receive payment. And after the customer pays, you're going to go to record deposit. So I want you to practice all these 3 steps. A customer sending money. I'm not doing the whole project. Obviously, I want you to do it at home, but I'm showing how to do it. So receive payment, you click here in the middle, you choose Bishot, and you got 1410 in a check. So you're saying 1410 the amount, click on a check and the date. So Bishot send it 589, this is check. Okay, so he pays it on the 22nd. Check number 935 or something like that. So I'm copying it. You'll see that 1410 is applied to the 1410 in this box. So what happens on this screen is doing credits to account receivable. The customer sent me the payment. You're applying directly to the invoice that was open. And it goes to a temporary account. When I save this, okay, right now when I save it, oh, my screen is missing the save and close. What's going on here? This is a bit strange. It's probably on the bottom of the screen, the save and new. Something is missing here. Okay, but I want to show you the transaction really. So the transaction is debit to undeposited funds. That's what's happening. It's a temporary place. Like the check is still on my desk. I didn't run to the bank with it. So that's what's happening on the screen. But it's a minus to account receivable. I'm just trying to find the save and close. Something is weird on my screen. screen somewhere? Okay, so it definitely stays by just going with ahead with the arrow key. I don't know what happened to the screen. Something is a little bit different. But anyway, let's go back to the home screen. Okay, so what happened is this. I went to create an invoice, then I did receive payment, and then this pop-up comes up. You see record deposit with the number 1? That means the check is holding or on my desk or just being held to be deposited. It goes to this temporary account. Undeposited funds is going to be 1410. But account receivable went down by the amount that you just got. So when we want to make sure that when the book says record receipt of the money and deposit, it means you're doing both steps, 2 steps. Okay, you have to remember to remove it from here by making a deposit. I hope you will not forget because of this number 1. So it's 2 steps in one. First, you receive the check and then go to 1 and record deposit. You click record deposit. You select it, the payment to be deposited. It doesn't have to be the same day. Sometimes you have the weekend and you just hold the check from Friday to Monday, things like that. So what's happening on the account is that you're making a debit to checking and credit to undeposited. Okay, you're never typing undeposited. You're selecting it from this payment, from this window. I click on to show it. Okay, all done here. So let's go back to QuickBooks Online. Okay, so we finished with making invoices. And that was my overview. I showed you that I have invoices of open account receivable, 2690. Okay, what happens next? Again, exactly the same wording. So if you know it in QuickBooks Online, you will know it in QuickBooks Desktop, it's the same. Receive payment is important. So we click on New, Receive Payment. See, it looks familiar. So receive payment is by the name of the customer. Short supplies. And it shows on the bottom which invoice they're paying. You're making a check mark. Check mark 1410. They're paying the 1410. Of course, be careful with your dates. If they got the money on the 22nd, put the 22nd. Reference number could be a check number, 935, like that. And you save a new. Okay, again, it went to a temporary place. And you have to remember to do plus and make a bank deposit. Checking. I want to show you where it is. Okay. So we have now 1280 is account receivable because we receive payment. Now the receive payment is a little bit faster because you don't need to do 2 steps and you're right away depositing the money. So if you go back, you'll see that the money is already in checking. I forgot to point that out. You see the deposit we just did, the 1410? It shows right here. The minute we receive payment, it goes straight to the bank. So QuickBooks Online, it's in 1 step. QuickBooks Desktop, it's 2 steps. Okay, that's basically it. I'm going to skip to the end. Yeah, the rest of it is repeating all the time. Purchased and paid. Again, so when they say purchase and pay, you're going to work with bill and pay bill. First enter the bill, then pay the bill. I'm skipping to the end because I want to teach adjusting entries and then we're done. Okay, what is adjusting entries? Adjusting entries is related to what you bought in the beginning of the month and you need to realize that some things deteriorate. So all these entries are basically the same. They just, review, receive payments and Bishot and paying. So if anybody still needs help, I'll do it one more time. I go to receive payment. This is Bishot, so I'm going to do another one. Let's choose Luminis. and he sends a payment of 1, so it's 1280. 1280, remember it's 2 steps. Okay, so that's Luminis, and Luminis paid internet marketing consultant, something like that. Okay, let's see if anybody is taxable. Okay, so 1280 Luminis paying, and you're done. I go over here, same payment. So we say Luminis, we choose it. 2 steps, make a deposit. So it's checking and undeposited. Usually you don't even have to change just the date. Make sure it's in the same month. Done. Okay, so now we're skipping to the end of the month. End of the month is adjusting entries. End of the month is make general journal entries. Okay, so I'm pointing out how you're gonna start. Go to company menu, make general journal entries. Of course, all the rest of the stuff on Germain, you have to work on your own. So make general journal entries. That's at the end of the month. So that will be January 31, 2023. Account, because we're talking about depreciation expense. So it's going to be depreciation expense. And the second one, accumulated depreciation. That's the basic journal entry. 4 o'clock. Okay, so let's read it again. So all these entries are basically repeating. Okay, so all these entries are basically the same, repeating all the time. Okay, you're going to continue with receiving payments, the marketing. So you're going to do, it doesn't matter if it says email and invoice, just enter the invoice. You don't need to email anything. So just enter the invoice and things like that. Okay, so that's the steps that you're doing. I'm discussing now the last part in this project, which is adjusting entries. So that's the new topic. Adjustment number 1 is 2400 computer, accumulated depreciation, straight line, 24 months, no salvage value. I'm sure you learned it in accounting 1, but if you don't remember, I'm going to do it step by step right now. It tells you the 2 accounts, depreciation expense and accumulate. So everybody in QuickBooks Online also should really copy these numbers so it'll be easier for you. So account number is 62,400 depreciation expense, account number 17,000 accumulated depreciation. Okay, so what we're going to do now is calculate 2,400 divided by 24 months with 0 salvage. Okay, so I go right here. See, that's the 2 accounts that I have. 2,400 divided by, I press the divide, the slash, divided by 24, obviously it's $1,000 a month. So explanation, 2,400 is the cost, divided over by 24 months, and 0 salvage. That's why it's $100 every month. Skipped. Okay, so that's basically it. I have the total, 100 and 100, and it's depreciation expense and accumulate. So that's your last part. That's your adjustment number 1. So adjust 1, you want you to type it here. So this is adjust 1. Same exact way, you're gonna do the next one. Depreciation expense is always debit, accumulate is always credit. Okay, then entry is about the 900. The 900 information, it means the copier going to be used over 36 months. So 900 divided by 36 months. The answer is 25. Okay, so again, 900 divided by 36 months, zero salvage. Again, it's not from my head, it's really information given. Okay, so this is called journal entry. And you explain it here, 900 cost over 36 months and zero salvage. Okay, so that's the first one I did, and this is the second one I did. So that's adjustment number 2. 900 copier printer depreciated over 36 months, same two accounts, depreciation expense and accumulate. Last one says, office technology supplies, we're moving $50 and removing them from office technology supplies, which is supplies on hand. So they want us to create a new account, a new current asset account, because we don't have it, and it's called supplies on hand. Then you transfer from an expense to an asset. So we have an asset called $50 of office supplies on hand. And office supplies expense is going to be reduced. That's your last adjusting entry. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Last adjusting entry. Office supplies. Okay, obviously we don't have it. So office, what's the name of it? Technology? Yeah. Office supplies on hand, other current asset. Okay, so we just type it. Office supplies on hand, enter, set it up as other current asset. Okay, they gave us account number 13,000. Now my new account is in. I'm increasing it by $50 and I'm going to take away from office supplies, which is the expense. Okay, so create other current asset. Okay, so you're moving $50 from this account to the other. That's your last adjustment, and that's adjustment number 3. So again, I debited the asset, a new account, and I credited the expense, office supplies. Okay, so let's do it in the other one. Okay, 3 adjusting entries in QuickBooks Online. How do we do it? We start with new, and we go to journal entry. New plus other journal entry. Okay, so the date is January 31. Always adjusting entries at that date. Journal number, if you want to say, first of all, you can make a check mark. This is adjusting entry. And adjust 1. Okay, of course, we need debit credits. Depreciation expense. I'm using exactly the same numbers that I saw before. Explanation account is depreciation and it's expense. I don't see the depreciation choice. User subscription, entertainment. Okay, that's, name is depreciation expense. No idea why I can't find it. Okay, so leave it a blank. Number, account number was, I think, 6,900. Okay, account number was 62,400. So we're typing 62,400. I don't know why it's not letting me. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm got stuck. Okay, here. 62,400, now it's letting me. Fine, description is depreciation. This is your expense. Depreciation, save and close. So now we have depreciation expense of $100. And credit going to be, of course, $100. Exactly the same steps. So cumulative depreciation number 17,000, enter. And here you're choosing fixed asset. Cumulative amortization, it says it, instead of accumulated depreciation. Okay, name and number, 17,000. Here is accumulated depreciation. And you're going to use the same account twice. I prefer it to be a sub account, but it's not a must, so save and close. Okay, so this is how you do the next one as well, the same way. Or if you want to do it on the same screen, all three adjustments in one, you could do it. But it's better to do each one separately. So this is description about the 2400 computer divided over 24 months. That's the first one, and $100. Okay, I'm staying with the same journal entry. This is number 2, exactly the same. Depreciation expense going to get $25, and accumulated depreciation going to get $25. Okay, and that's the 900 divided by 36 months. Last one. Office supplies on hand. Okay, notice that it says office supplies software, it's expense. That's the second one we need. Office supplies on hand. And we create other current asset. It's a type of inventory, really. Office supplies on hand, number 13,000 given, and save and close. So we have over here $50 moving. One second. Here's my 50. And I'm moving it from office supplies, which is the expense, $50. Okay, so we just moved from unused, whatever is unused, moved to an asset. So what happens here, this is the balance sheet account, office supplies on hand, office supplies expense goes down by $50. So good luck with this project. When you're done, this is the reports I want. We're staying with the same QuickBooks Online. You go to the 3 reports that I would need. Okay, it's under, you could do it under accountant, you could do it under reports, it's easier. Click on reports. Obviously, I didn't do all of it, so my net income will be wrong. But the reports that you must have is profit and loss and balance sheet. They're right here. Profit and loss. Okay, change the dates. 01/01/2023 until the end of the month, 01/31/2023. 31/2023. So we want the whole month, and then we press run. Obviously, this is not the correct answer. Don't send this. This is just a few invoices. This does not look right. You're gonna have a different number here because we missed the bill of buying supplies, so it's not gonna look like a minus. That's gonna correct itself. But you're definitely going to have depreciation expense of 125, a rent of 700, and this number would be different. Okay, so we didn't enter a bill for office supplies expense. And if you want to work with exactly the number in the book, you could. So that's your profit and loss. Next report, you go to the balance sheet, same idea. The date on the balance sheet is one date. So of course we care about the ending. The date is 1/31/2023. And then you run. Okay, Germain consultant, and you will have different amounts. Make sure when you're done, you should not have undeposited. You might have account receivable, you should have account receivable, but you should not have undeposited. Okay, so all the money should be in checking. Okay, then you have accounts receivable, you might have a small accounts payable, and the net income would be in here. Okay, so if you need other reports, you go over here, reports, and you could find also other reports on, scroll down, and that's cash flow. So after profit and loss, you will have statement of cash flow. Again, the date has to be 01/01 until 1/31. Always change the dates and you'll get statement of cash flow. You're editing this way. Okay, obviously I didn't do it yet, but that's the statement of cash flow. Change the dates. And that's it for this project. Okay, if you need a report that's general journal, complete journal, scroll down and you'll find journal. It's under accountant. You will find it in For My Accountant. You have adjusting journal entries exactly like they wanted separately, those 3 adjusting entries. And you'll find journal by itself. Okay, and the journal should be for the whole month from 01/2023 until the end of the month. And this should match exactly the program. Okay, so after you do that, you will have the correct dates. Everything is in here, from bill, from payment, everything. That's your journal. Okay, so you can export to Excel, you can do a PDF. If you have any problems with that, you can print as a PDF and export to Excel right here, export to Excel. Okay, so good luck everyone. Do project 11, spend more time on this. This is still much harder than the actual midterm, but that's in a nutshell the idea of the midterm. Any questions? Okay, good luck.
Professor.
Yes.
I